Hi, I'm Cedric Todd, part of the Kitchen Grandpas.
That's right, and I'm Jeff Brookalary, and we welcome you into this episode. We are going to make eggplant parmesan today. That's right. So, first off, we'll cut up the eggplant. Cedric's going to handle that for us, right?
Yes.
All right.
He doesn't know how to use a knife.
Yeah, right. So, take part of that stem off. Wait. Oh, we just lost about an inch of eggplant
That's
there.
okay.
You could have just...
leave it right here. I got you.
Okay, so he's going to cut that, and we want to make it about a 1/4 inch thick, about a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch. Now, what happens with some restaurants is they actually cut it too thick, and I don't like it that way. A lot of people don't like it that way. It comes out very chewy and still crunchy and not fully cooked. So we do it about a 1/4 inch thick, and you can see that here. That's about a good size right there. Good job, Cedric. You got the right size.
Thank you. Do we have
Okay, wait a minute.
yet?
Yeah, we're going to put it. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on this plate. Hang on. Go ahead.
Sorry.
Keep cutting it all. No. And I'm going to put salt on it. And why we salt it is to draw out some of the liquid, some of the moisture in the eggplant. So we cut it up. We put a little bit of salt on it. Not a lot. It's not for taste. It's for drawing out some of the liquid. All right? And that's how we do this. That's all right. We could use that piece. Grab a couple more, salt them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to rinse these off because we don't want to keep the salt on necessarily. They'll be too salty when they cook. And there's plenty of seasoning and everything else because we've got seasoned breadcrumbs we're going to use. So you see I just throw...
We're not putting pepper on them. We're just doing salt.
No, and you know, in the sauce that you're going to use with this, of course, the sauce is all seasoned with everything that we're going to need. So we would normally let these sit for about 5 to 10 minutes, okay, with the salt on it to try to draw some of that moisture out. Then we'll rinse them out. Now, we're not going to let them sit that long because we need to move along here for the video purposes. This is just milk, no egg wash. We're just going to dip them in milk. So, you know, some people...
Most places want eggs in there, so
some
why
people
we
are
not
going to...
doing
No, you don't need eggs. Why? I don't want to batter. I just want to bread them.
Okay.
So what we want is just a little bit of milk, so the breadcrumbs will stick to the eggplant.
And if we're on a diet, let's use 2%.
Right.
If you're nice and healthy like I am, let's use,
Exactly.
vitamin D.
All right. And then this is just Italian-style breadcrumbs. Cover up the brand. Italian-style breadcrumbs. And we'll put...
And there's a difference. It's not panko. It's not
panko,
flour.
no.
It's
Right. And they're not plain. They're Italian-style, which means that they do have some seasonings in them, like there is a little bit of oregano in there and a little bit of basil and so forth. So they do have some seasoning in the breadcrumb. That's why we don't want to over-season the eggplant here before we get this going.
Now I use a lot of breadcrumb, for my salads and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Could I actually use that, grind it up, and be similar?
Yeah, if you mean if you have leftover bread?
No, actually bread crumbs or bread croutons. Yeah.
Thank you to our camera person for helping
Yeah.
you.
Because
Yes, croutons.
they're seasoned.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to, you could use croutons. It kind of defeats the purpose of having croutons, though, doesn't it? I mean, if you want to make your own breadcrumbs, now some people make their own breadcrumbs. Day-old bread, let it sit out, let it dry. Italian bread, you cut it up, you can season it, put it in the oven, let it dry out in the oven at a low temperature, like 250 or 200, and you can make your own breadcrumbs that way as well. I don't take the time to do that. A lot of Italian chefs on television that I watch, they say you got to make your own breadcrumbs. Why buy them? Hello. It's the 2000s. I buy breadcrumbs.
That's why I keep
All right, I'm going to rinse these off. You keep talking. Oh, I tell you what. You can turn the oil on. We got to get the oil going. Get the oil
this is
nice
great.
and hot. If we can get that oil nice and hot.
So we don't want it a little high. We want it.
Well, we want it hot. Why do we want it hot? You know why, right?
Yes.
Because we don't want the eggplant absorbing all the oil. We want it to fry.
Fry quick.
Yeah. So we want the eggplant to fry and not just soak up all the oil. Now, they're going to, of course, get a little oil in them, but it's not, nothing to speak of.
Now let me ask you this. We put the salt on these to draw out the moisture.
Right.
And then we rinse them off.
And they're going to be wet. I know what you're saying. Had I waited longer, I would have let them sit longer, 10
Okay.
minutes at least, to let them draw out the moisture. Then I would have washed them, and I would have patted them dry with paper towels. We're not going to do that today. We're, making a
We're
video here.
simplifying it.
Yeah. But normally we would. I mean, and I can grab some paper towels and we can still pat them off a little bit as we go if we want to. But they're going to get wet again right in the milk. You see what I'm saying?
Well, then.
But by letting them sit on the counter with the salt, that would draw some of the moisture out. Then you rinse them. And you will see that the water is going to be brown that comes out of these. And ultimately, in the bottom of this plate, when we're done, it'll be brown water in there. So the liquid is going to brown, and that's just the discoloration from the eggplants, and they just do that, I guess. I don't know. So this is, by the way, this is a Sicilian eggplant Parmesan recipe. This is a family recipe. Not everybody does it the same way, and I call it a Sicilian recipe because...
It's from Sicily.
Well, all different parts of Italy, yes. I mean, my family's from Sicily, but all different parts of Italy cook differently. They have different styles or different ways of doing maybe even the same dish in a different way.
Like New York pizza, Chicago pizza.
Right, exactly. So in Italy, it's the same way with different dishes that they have prepared them differently depending if you're in southern Italy or northern Italy. In fact, pizza in Italy is different from Sicilian style pizza to Napolitani style pizza or to a Tuscan pizza. They're all different styles. So that's, but this is going to be the eggplant parm Sicilian style. All right, so we've moved over to the stove, and let me show you. All we got to do is just dip these in the milk a little bit of the breadcrumbs. We don't need a thick coating of breadcrumbs. We just want some breadcrumbs on here. The oil is hot. It's splattering. You can see that. And then we're going to just cook these in the oil, Cedric, until they're a little translucent. So
Okay.
in other words, around the edges, you'll see it start to turn a different color green, and it would like possibly let light through, translucent. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be in, you can't see through them, but
Now, some vegetables like possibly squash or potatoes, it depends on whether you want to leave the skin on or not.
wow. Now, yes, the
So
skin.
can you take the skin off?
Okay, so some people, when they prepare eggplant parm, will peel the skin on eggplant. And in some recipes, you might want to peel the skin on the eggplant and not include the skin. But for eggplant parmesan, the way we cook it here, yeah, I like to leave the skin on. It's going to cook so well that it's not going to be tough. It won't be too chewy, the skin.
Right.
It'll be nice and soft. So you can eat the skin as long as it's cooked well. I mean, you don't want it chewy, obviously.
And that helps since we're grandpas, our teeth and trying
Yeah,
to-
exactly.
Yeah.
And
We like soft stuff.
so we're not just going to fry it, but we're also going to bake it, of course, right?
Right.
And that'll help with the cooking process as well. So we fry it up until it's a little translucent, a little soft. And once it gets to that soft stage, then we're going to build it like a casserole or a lasagna in layers. And we're going to layer it. And here's some that we've already done earlier, you can see. And those breadcrumbs are going to get dark and brown in that oil, and you may have to switch out your oil at some point, etc. But all right, I'm going to get these going as quick as we can here. We have to, may need to take another pause for commercial break or something. I don't know. Another jump cut edit, as they say in the business. Okay, now let me show you this. If you'll come in here, you can see this. The coloring here is turned green, so it's becoming a little translucent, and that's what we want. That's getting a little soft. So that little piece is ready to flip over. See that? So they're going to get a little translucent around the edges. A little. See that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Almost see-through it.
so we can see that those are starting to get soft. Now these last ones I just put in, so I'm going to give them a little bit more time. And then you're going to have to add oil to this, obviously, because these breadcrumbs are just going to soak up this oil. So I have to keep adding oil as we go, but I don't want to, bury them in the oil, but I do want to get
So we're not going to fry them like French fries.
They're not
or-
deep fried, right, yeah.
Yeah, they're not deep fried.
But, almost. You want a good amount of oil in here.
So could you use a deep fryer?
No, I don't know. I've never done these in a deep fryer, but I suppose if you wanted to, there's another thing you can do with eggplant and cut it lengthwise, and you can deep fry those and make eggplant sticks or whatever like that. But when I'm building eggplant parm, I want it in slices like this, so I can make layers like a lasagna. I have seen on television other cooks do it in strips
Really?
and make eggplant parm. But lengthwise,
They do them lengthwise and thin.
thin, yeah, lengthwise slices, I should say, not strips, but slices lengthwise. But we go across it and make nice little circles.
That's pretty much the standard.
But I kind of like the way they did it on that one show that I saw where they did it lengthwise, and I've never tried it that way, but maybe next time I will. In fact, my wife asked me before we did this video if I was going to cut them lengthwise like we watched on television, and I said, no, I'm going to do it our way, and then experiment next time, right?
Sure.
Yeah. All right, so these are going to be, that's nice and soft there. My fork almost didn't stay in that. So if they get nice and soft, you can pull them out. You want them to drain on paper towels. That's kind of important. We don't want this thing to be too greasy and oily when we bake it. Okay, so we do want some of this oil to drain off. But you can see how it works. And I love just looking at the eggplant like this because the translucent nature of these, when it starts to get that green color around the edges, you know it's starting to cook. And this one's real thin. Cedric did a good job of making that one thin, so we can flip that already.
Sure.
No, it's good.
Anytime.
Yeah. And then, so they're going to be nice and soft. See, I can stick my fork right through it easy. And that's what we want. See, I'll tell you, Cedric, we got eggplant parmesan, and I brought it home from a local Italian restaurant not long ago, and it'll remain nameless. I won't say which company. Of course. But from a local Italian restaurant, it's not a major national chain, folks, so don't be thinking about some of those chains. But, so we got some eggplant parm from this place. Number one, they don't pre-fry it. They don't bread it. And their slices were like, I mean, half an inch or more thick. My daughter, our cameraman, Alyssa, will tell you, huh?
Camera woman.
Our camera person. Camera operator. Director of photography. She's going to have a lot of titles in the credits. My wife was the sous chef today. She helped build the other casserole for me earlier. And all right, so this is really soft and falling apart. So let's take them out. When they're getting to that stage, boom, they're ready to rock and roll. And then
see,
they're soft, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what you want. Like I said, the ones we got from this restaurant just recently, they were too big, still crunchy, chewy. It's like, oh my gosh. And what we're looking for is more like mushy.
Right.
And I know some people don't like mushy. I mean, I get that. You know, they're going to be like, oh, well, it's all mushy and, we want some bite to it, or we want some,
Crunch.
not me. But that's, again, that goes back to personal taste. Oh,
I agree with you.
I had some other ones here to cook. Yeah. I'll tell you what, let's do it. I'm going to do it real quick.
Let's just
throw some oil in there.
Nice and gently.
Sorry, Alyssa. We moved away from the stove, and now you're back. Oh. Oh. Yeah, we don't want to get my bald spot.
Yeah, we don't need the back of the head.
She said too late.
Yeah, here you go.
Too late for the bald spot.
It's already there, and you can't do nothing about it.
My bald spot's actually in a couple of TV commercials, by the way. So I won't mention the product or what it is, but there's a couple of TV commercials where
kind of like a spray paint you spray in the back of your head. Looks like hair.
No. I was not. No. I was just hired to be an extra, and I didn't want to be on camera for these commercials per se. And so I made sure that my back was to the camera every time when I was walking in the background. And so my bald spot made it in the commercial a couple of times. I don't know. Hey. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I don't know. I wish Ron Popeil still had that spray stuff, sold that spray on hair. But then again, I would look like I have just a black spot then, I guess, because there's not much hair there to work with.
Need to grow that,
You got some?
See, look.
Oh, yeah, nice. All right.
My wife says I'll never run out of hair.
All right, let's come on back over here, Cedric, and we can start building this baby.
Now, how many layers are you thinking how many layers do we do?
This size baking dish or casserole, whatever you want to call it, could do about 3 layers. We should be able to get 3 layers in here. So let's...
Serves 4?
No, it could serve more than that because you're going to have 3 layers. It's going to be pretty thick. You could probably serve, 5 or 6 people with this.
Okay.
At least that's what we're hoping because we're going to have it tomorrow for lunch at my parents' house. So, and here's how we do this. We're going to start off with a layer of sauce on the bottom. So I'm going to...
Okay, and you've already pre-made the sauce.
Yeah, okay.
And it was, what's in it?
Good point. All right, thank you for asking and reminding me. So you can use any type of pasta sauce that you like, any type of marinara. It could be your own homemade recipe. It could be a jarred recipe. I use our family homemade recipe, and that will be a subject for another video, actually. But so we'll tell you how to do that in another video. But I always start with tomato paste and go from there, and then add the seasonings and so forth. So I pre-made the sauce, but again, you can use a jarred sauce, and there's some good jar sauces out there that you can use that you might like. All right. So we're going to start with, I'll do the first layer here, but I want you to help build this.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with just a little bit of sauce in the bottom. We don't want it to stick to the bottom of the pan.
We don't want it like coated. We just want it like a thin.
Yeah, we just want to put a little bit of sauce in the bottom here so that it's, so that the eggplant, like I said, doesn't stick. And then when we build these layers, we want to try to build it as solid as possible with as little bit of holes.
Okay.
Okay.
So would you cut one in half maybe?
I could, yes. So in other words, what we'll do is we'll try to fit these in here the best we can with different sizes. Okay, and that's why we've got different size eggplant. We can do that. We can try to squeeze these puppies in.
These are nice and hot.
Yeah, well, they just came out of the pan, of course. All right, I'll put a little one in the middle here.
Got my hands all greasy now, so I can.
All right, and then I'm going to do that cut in half trick here. We're going to stick one right there. All right, so now you can see we've got a nice bottom layer, okay? Then a little bit of sauce, and then the cheese. So we go sauce, we go eggplant, sauce, cheese. And we don't have to kill it with the sauce here. We don't have to drown it.
That's, we put the sauce on the bottom layer without any cheese, but once you get past the eggplant, you want the sauce, then the cheese, and the eggplant sauce, cheese.
Correct. All right, so go ahead and put a nice layer of cheese on there. And this is a mixture, by the way, folks. I did have the an Italian-style blend of cheeses, which in this packet, it says shredded low-moisture part-skim mozzarella. You got provolone, Parmesan, Romano, Fontina, and Asiago cheeses. Then I also bought another bag. That's good. Wow. Then I also bought another bag of just Parmesan, shredded Parmesan, and a bag of shredded mozzarella. And that's why they're all in the bowl. I mixed it all together.
So we got 4 different cheeses
We've
here?
got, well, this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got
Plus
6.
the Parmesan.
No, there's Parmesan in that
Oh.
too. So we have 6 different types of cheeses in this mixture of cheese, which, I think that's awesome. The more the cheese, the better.
Cheese. I have a whole cheese drawer in my refrigerator, so
Yes, cheese is a good thing.
and I buy it once again at Sam's in bulk.
Uh-huh.
And then when I get home, I got a sealer. And so then I keep it sealed in that. That way it doesn't go bad. It doesn't get moisture in there and start to mold.
Oh, okay. Help me out here. No, hit me with some more sauce now.
More sauce.
Go sauce on there. All right. And so we're just going to keep building this. And now, that, of course, the next layer is going to be the third layer. We got 2 layers in there. We're going to go one more layer, hopefully. And we have enough. We've got enough for another layer, which is awesome.
Okay, so is that enough sauce or?
A little more. Might as well use, well, we don't have to use it all up
Yeah,
because I'm
'cause
going
we're
to
gonna
have to have some tomorrow for the pasta.
Are we going to have one more sauce layer?
Yeah, on the top. On the top of this. Oh, I didn't put the cheese on. Sorry, Cedric. Go ahead and hit me with some cheese there. I'll move this one out of the way. I forgot the cheese. Again, I can't talk and cook at the same time.
Comes with age.
Okay, got it? That's good.
Sure.
Now, hang on to some of that cheese because we're going to need it on the top. We want
But
to
we're
check.
going to put another sauce.
Right, we're going to do another sauce and a cheese layer on top. And,
Oh, good. We have more.
oh yeah, we got more.
So it looks like
We
you're
have more here.
going to need
Lots
2
of more.
eggplants.
Yeah, I mean for
Eggplants.
this is an 8x8 casserole. For a casserole this size, an 8x8, you will need at least 1.5 to 2 eggplants. Okay, if you want to build 3 layers like we just did. All right, so that's going to be your optimum. Now I used 3 eggplants because I've made 2 of these, and you'll see the other one here in just a second. We'll get that. That one was in the oven already. Okay, now good. That was perfect. Look at that. We used up all the eggplant.
And we'll use up all the sauce.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make more sauce for the pasta tomorrow. Oh well. Oh well.
I make my own sauce at home too.
And all right, so now what we do, this is done, okay? Don't even have to do anything. I'm gonna stick it in the oven. I just banged my microphone. Sorry about that, folks. You're gonna put, here, let me do this. That's good, Cedric.
Yeah, just trying to use it all so we don't go to waste.
Okay. And I don't worry about the cheese. I can put the cheese back in the bag. So there's the top, okay? Now we're gonna stick that in the oven. You guys, everybody wants to help. Okay.
Yeah.
It'll melt, it'll melt, it'll melt. And it's gonna get brown, and I will show you. You're gonna set that.
We don't want to waste anything.
Okay, I'm gonna set that for 30 minutes, kids. All right, howdy doody gang. And this is the finished product. Where did my hot pad go?
Is it still hot?
Yeah. And this is the finished product. So you can see it's nice and brown. Look at that cheese, it's all melty in there, nice and brown. Now there is a little bit of grease. You can see a little bit of grease. Of course, that's going to come off of the eggplant when you cook it. But the good thing is you're going to cut this. You're going to spoon it out, slice it out. I know you want to try it, don't you?
Oh, yes, I do.
Let's just do this. All right.
Yum. Oh,
Okay.
I'm like Jeff here. You know,
All right, Cedric.
you
I'll
get a
you
good eggplant parmesan,
plastic fork.
but you can.
Dig in. Tell me what you think. The telltale sign is going to be the sauce because I remembered I put everything in the sauce this time. Last time I made my sauce, I forgot the sugar.
Oh,
But
boy.
I made the sauce, and I haven't really tasted it, so I'm hoping this is going to be good. So let's see. What do you think?
Oh, it may only serve for
Oh, that's fantastic. All right.
take.
Again, we're the Kitchen Grandpas. This is eggplant parmigiana, my family homemade Sicilian recipe of eggplant parmesan, the way it's supposed to be made. Cedric, thank you very much.
The right way.
Great time.
The right
Yes,
way.
this is the right way. Some people say it's according to taste. No, there's a right way and a wrong way. This is the right way to make it.
So,
What do you think?
Definitely. I haven't had eggplant parmesan this good ever.
Well, good. All right. Hey, a glowing recommendation there from my partner, Cedric Todd. I'm Jeff Percolari. We're the Kitchen Grandpas. Remember to like our videos and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell all your friends. Please share it with everybody on Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and get out there. We're on Twitter, too, by the way. It's the Kitchen Grandpas on Twitter. The Kitchen Grandpas. Check us out on Twitter as well. Thank you all for watching our Eggplant Parmesan.